does want to kill his opponent, and he does want to murder him, and he does want to do all that bad stuff to his opponent. And then there's Aaron Short Fuse Hughes, who's taking on Jake the Hitman Hixenbaum. So without further ado, the Short Fuse, Mr. Aaron Hughes.
That was awful. Like Jesus.
That was awful?
No, it was awful.
There you go, man. Well, I was just like, I'm trying to talk about the love and the fact that they were kind of affiliates and they're putting that aside for the whole sporting aspect. They don't want to kill each other. They just want to get in there and compete. I'm trying to whole heart, like, sell MMA. And then it's like, yeah, my next guest is Short Fuse Hughes, who on the microphone screamed, I want to kill you, fucking pussy, motherfucker this, pussy that. And I'm like, yeah, let's throw all that wholesome stuff in the garbage and bring in Short Fuse.
Thanks for having me
on. As always, I appreciate you joining us. So I guess we can just delve into it. You know, the fans known you for a long time. You've been fighting for cage signs for a long time now. You had an amazing year last year. You really kind of broke onto the scene and, you know, had some amazing performances, from your speech, banging moms and throwing bombs, you know, to the victories inside the cage, your post-fight speeches, though, and your vocalness has really kind of resonated with fans. Some either love you and they love those speeches. Some kind of hate you, but what they say in the business, as long as they're watching, that's the most important. What's it been like for you on this journey, especially this past year?
Yeah, man. I mean, I won my pro debut and then I lost 3 fights in a row. And I'm getting older. I'm going to be 30 August. So I'm like, do I want to keep doing this shit, or like, is it time to like start being an adult and working a real job? And then I just like looked myself in the mirror and I was like, fuck that. I don't ever want to work a 9-to-5 job. Like, this is who I am and this is what I do. And I know like where I'm at skill wise and how good I actually am. And I fucking just went up a weight class, put my head down and just grinded and won 3 fights in a row and 3 guillotine finishes in a row. Got a little bit too guillotine happy, but I'm in a good spot now. And 2024, I plan on really setting a standard and just taking myself to the next level.
Man, it's been an amazing journey for us at Cage Sides, not only for myself, but also our fans, to see the kind of progression you've had over, you know, these past few years, from an amateur all the way up to this run that you went on last year, those 3 fight win streaks by guillotine. You know, would you kind of talked about mentally, you kind of sat down like, should I be an adult or should I just kind of buckle down? Like, you know, what was that process like for you? And what's some advice you could use that you went through in that process of trying to get into that headspace, like that you could help some other fighters out and kind of give them some insight on?
So in the beginning of the end of 2020, grandmother way, and I quit my full-time job and I was like, I'm going to dedicate everything I have in me to making it to the UFC or making it to Bellator. And I had never been happier in my entire life. Like, the day I like walked out of my full-time job and was like, I never have to do this again, like, I was a completely different person, like mentally fit. Like, I actually enjoyed training again. And yeah, man, it's like, there's no success without failure. Like, anybody who's the best at any sport or actor, singer, actress, like they've all failed over and over and over and over again. And without failure, there's no success. And something that I personally always say is like, Thomas Edison created the light bulb, right? But how many times did he fail? He probably failed thousands and thousands of times. But did he actually fail if he still created the light bulb? In my eyes, he was successful, right? So you can't be successful unless you fail over and over and over again. And yeah, so
there you go, the philosopher.
It's gotta fail, I guess, you know.
There you go, man. The philosopher. That's a great way to look at it. I guess I respect that. I've never heard anybody kind of put it right out there like that, but that's a great way to look at it, and I can appreciate it. I gotta say though, kind of going into that mindset, I can speak for myself. I definitely seen a mindset switch because you've always had the I don't want to say call them gifts, but the talent. You've always had the talent, but really it was a mindset change that I think that I saw within you, and maybe the confidence that really changed for you last year, and kind of, I don't want to say broke out of your shell, but you kind of broke out of your shell, and you were confident, and you were confident in your convictions. And when you definitely had something change. Was it one thing that kind of changed, or was it just that mindset you were talking about, like, screw this, I'm making a run because I don't want to be an adult yet and I want to put it all in? Like, it's definitely come through though in the product of you on fight night. So what was that? What was it?
Yeah, it was honestly a product of a bunch of different things. Just like pushing myself every single day in the gym and training with the guys that I train with and performing well with the guys that I train with. I'm like, there's no reason I should be losing to some of these guys because I know how fucking good I am. And I worked with a mental coach and started like meditating and doing a lot of like visualization and stuff. And then one of my main corners, Ryan, he has been like saying for like 5 years, he's like, bro, he's like, you're better than all these motherfuckers. You're better than all these motherfuckers. You just have to go out there and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And he said to me before I fought Matt last year, he's like, bro, he's like, fuck the noise. He's like, because if you really want to be in the UFC, he's like, there's gonna be crowds that are 10 times bigger than this and screaming. So fuck the noise. Stay focused for 15 minutes. Go out there and perform. And I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 fights, and I've definitely noticed a massive improvement, not only like in my skills but in my performances. Like I've always had the skills, and it's kind of funny because I sparred with Don Shanis like 6 months ago, and he's like, bro, he's like, I can't believe how much better you've gotten. He's like, most improved fighter in New England. I'm like, bro, I've always been this good. I just fucking believe it now, you know? So, yeah, just like really buckling down and believing in my skills has been absolute game changer for me, you know?
Man, I can tell in your voice, in seeing how, I don't want to say worked up, but like how passionate you are. I can tell you really believe it, and you really, it is mental. And I think that you've been doing all the right things for all these years. You've always been at great gyms, training with great training partners, and it was that confidence and that believability in yourself, and that's really shined. So I commend you for that. Um, you know, I also got to ask, you mentioned Don Shane. It's like, what has that been like for you and your confidence? Like training with guys like Mitch Raposo every day, who's been on Dana White's Contender Series and Ultimate Fighter, Don Shanis, who's gone to the UFC, training over at Lozon's, Jorgen De Castro over at Regiment, like these guys who have tasted that next level, knowing you want to be there. How has that helped you?
Yeah, oh my God. It's been an absolute game changer. Like I've been training with Mitch since he was 16. So he's like 25. I'm 29 now. So I've been training with him for like 9, 10 years. And I'd say like I really started improving so much like during COVID when all the gyms were shut down. Me and Mitch every single day just training all day long, just me and him in the gym, nobody else around, just drilling, drilling, and drilling, and drilling, and drilling. And like that kid's got so much fucking knowledge. And when he went to the Ultimate Fighter and came back, like he was just a different fighter. And I learned so much from him, like not only from like the mental side of things, but just like every single day. Like I tell everybody that my game is like 50% Mitch and like 50% Aaron Hughes. Like I take so much shit that Mitch shows me and I put it into my own game. So like having a training partner that I can train with every single day like that has just been absolutely like game changing. And the fact that I'm like training with the New England Cartel, like getting smashed every single day has been like so beneficial because like I'm like I train there. I'm probably the worst one in the room there. So it's like every single round I'm just getting smashed and smashed and smashed and smashed and smashed, but I'm just getting better and better and better and better and better. So it's just like training with those guys every single day. Like it fucking sucks, but it's like so beneficial in the long run, if that makes sense, you know?
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And I can tell you this, back from my experience when I first started training, I remember I only could go to the gym during the day and only the fighters went to the gym during the day. So I'm a newbie and I'm going there every day. And it was like getting my ass kicked. But you're right. Like you're getting your ass kicked, but you're still picking yourself up off that mat and you're getting better. And then at some point, you don't even realize you're getting better. And then something clicks and you're like, wait a minute, I'm doing all right. So I can relate to that. I want everybody right now, though, enough with all the fun stuff. Everybody go pop your popcorn now because we're going to switch into gears. So go put your microwave on the popcorn button. I'm going to get one fun fact out before we really dive into the nitty gritty and really get into the dirt that the guys want. So this is just an appetizer to the short fuse man himself. But I do got to shout it out while your popcorn's popping. Aaron Hughes, thanks to Nick Heiler pointing this out to me. Aaron Hughes is the only Cage Titans fighter to fight as an amateur, fight as a pro, fight in a Muay Thai bout, and fight for Cage Titans grappling. He is the only fighter to do all of that across the board.
And I did grappling.
Shout out to you. What was that?
I also competed in the grappling tournament that you guys hosted like 4 or 5 years ago.
There you go. So there you go. You've done the whole gamut of Cage Titans. So I got to give you your props for that. But now the nitty gritty, what we're all here for, Aaron Hughes versus Jake Hixenbaugh 2. Why don't you bring us back to that first battle and kind of see, for those who don't know, just to kind of catch up to speed, there was some deemed illegal elbows that were thrown to the back of the head that the referee deemed unintentional, but they were illegal. It was a no contest. I set the stage. You kind of tell me your side and let kind of people know where your mindset was, and let's set the table of what happened that first fight.
Yeah, so I was drilling those elbows all camp, right? Like I've been drilling them for like 6 months, 7 months prior to that, right? So when I was finally in the position to like use the elbows, and I definitely hit them in the back of that head a few times, but not all of them were illegal. Some of them were definitely illegal shots, and I definitely hurt him pretty bad and heard my corner, keep going, keep going. So I was like, okay, fuck. Like, I'm just going to keep spamming them. Like, I definitely should have been a lot more careful. But the fact that they say that I did it on purpose, like, dude, I got 30 fights between MMA, boxing, kickboxing, amateur. Like, I've never had one fall. I've never kicked anybody in the nuts. I've never poked anybody in the eye. I've never hit anybody in the back of the head. So, and like, his team was just trashing me on social and saying that I'm a dirty fighter and I'm a cheater and I took the easy way out because I was getting my ass kicked. Like, dude, nobody was getting their fucking ass kicked. Like, the fight was 1 minute and 10 seconds long. I didn't even get hit. If anybody landed more shots, it was me with the fucking leg kicks. I was like, so like, how was I getting my ass kicked? Like, and the fact that I can elbow you in the back of the head from closed guard. How the fuck does that even make sense, dude? You're on top of me. It's not like I'm in back mount, have you flattened out, and I'm raining down shots. Like, no, you fucking turned your head because I was elbowing your fucking skull, and you didn't want to get hit with elbows anymore. So you were trying to take the easy way out and get a DQ. And the fact that his team is like, yeah, we're going to get it overturned to a DQ. Like, dude, Jake and I got beef, but as a fighter and as a competitor, I respect him and I respect anybody that steps in there. And I know I would not want to win like that, and I know he does not want to fucking win like that. So I'm glad it wasn't overturned to a disqualification. And I'm just going to go out there this time and I'm going to prove everybody wrong and I'm going to make a statement.
Yeah, there you go. there was, as you tell the story, there was a lot of back and forth afterwards, and there was a lot of stuff going on social media. And everybody was involved, his management, his team, him, and things like that. That fight didn't it wasn't ready for an immediate rematch. The running back, he wasn't available. You ended up fighting in the meantime. And I think that emotion spilled over in that post-fight interview. You grab the mic and we just played it. We just did it on social media the other day. And or I think in the hype video that we have, it's like, Jay kicks him on, you fucking pussy, and your coach can get it too. And it was just like, we really felt that emotion. Like, now that there's some time that's settled, I think I know the answer. It still seems like you're fired up, but have you had some time to settle down a little bit on the whole surroundings and kind of let it subside, or are you still this fired up and want to fuck him up?
I mean, I want to fuck up everybody that I step in the cage with, whether I like you or not, right? Like, we're fighters. Like, we're not going in there to tickle each other, right? So yeah, I 100% still want to get in there and fuck them up, but I'm going to be tactical with the way that I go about it. I have a game plan. I'm going to stick to the game plan, and I'm going to come out with my hand raised. I promise you that.
Yeah. So, speaking of kind of going down a little bit, and I like that approach. He did have an interview with Domenico lately, and wait. All
right, hold on. First of all, listen, I'm gonna fucking rub some people wrong here, but I don't give a fuck, right? Listen, Domenico has been my boy forever, right? Forever. And he's probably gonna get pissed when he sees this, but I don't give a fuck, all right? So he's been my boy forever, right? So he posts an interview with Jake, and he's tagging me in all the clips, right? So I respond, I'm like, all right, you got to get me on the podcast to do some rebuttal, right? He's like, nah, bro, you already had your chance to have a new favorite podcast. Like, what the fuck? Dude, I've never said no to an interview to anybody who asked to do an interview, right? So if you ask me to do an interview, I'll do a fucking interview, right? And he told me like 6 months ago, my door is always open for you. But what, now because he works with New England MMA and they manage Jake, now he wants nothing to do with me? Fuck out of here. That's some fake ass bullshit. Just saying.
All right. I don't know. I want to kind of go down that road, but I got to kind of slice the tension a little bit. I think people in the comments are liking the whole tickle. If somebody tickles me, I'm tapping immediately. Maybe we have a new thing. We've had Cage Titans, Grappling Titans, Muay Thai Titans, maybe Tickle Titans. I kind of like Tickle Titans. What do you think of that?
Honestly, it's kind of funny because my girlfriend told me one time, she's like, yeah, like if I got in that position, like I would just tickle them. And I'm like, I don't know if they would like. You have so much adrenaline. I don't know if you would feel that shit,
Cage Titans, Tickle Titans coming to a cage near you. Anyways, on that point, I know you kind of went down that road with Domenico, but let's bring it back to the actual interview. He had some things to say. Johnny Cupcakes, no surprise you would do a tickle match. We love you, Johnny. I think if we did a tickle match, you would have to be the inaugural tickle match champion. So we are Tickle Titans. I like that as well. But anyways, I love everybody coming there. Alyssa wants to know why is he so angry? I think that's your girlfriend, right?
Yeah, she's fucking standing right behind me, this knucklehead.
There you go. But anyways, let's go to that interview. We had some choice things. Obviously you wanted a chance to get a rebuttal. Well, the floor is now yours, and here's your chance to give a rebuttal. And he will be on later on, so I can actually ask him about your rebuttal as well.
Yeah. He's saying, oh, he better not tap. I want to see him unconscious. Well, all I got to say is you better not go southpaw, because if you do, this fucking right hand's coming right to your chin and you're going night-night. So you better not go southpaw.
There you go. There's a good rebuttal. I like that. Alyssa, your girlfriend loves Jake with a heart emoji. I think your girlfriend loves firing you up. If she's over there, we got to ask her some questions, because she definitely loves stirring the pot. And I think, honestly, Aaron, people that know you do have that short fuse. So what will happen to follow you is that people just know they want a reaction, so they'll push those buttons because they know they'll get it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and he's like, oh, he's just a puff of smoke. He's a short fuse. It's all he'll ever be. But he's gonna be in for a rude awakening when he sees me standing there right in front of him, and I'm gonna be there the entire time. I'm taking this motherfucker to 15 minutes of hell. I'm putting myself through hell every single day, so I can give hell in the cage. And I hope he's prepared to go 15 minutes because I ain't quitting. There ain't gonna be no finish. So if he wants to win, he's gonna have to put me to sleep, as I'm sure I'm gonna have to do to him. So 15 minutes of hell for this fight.
Let's try to wrap it up on a complimentary note. You know, obviously Jake's had some success in the cage. One, you know, let's not all be doom and gloom. What's some things that stand out to you about him that you think he brings to the table that might possess a challenge without giving away too much?
Well, like I said, he has a game plan. We've done a lot of film study. I'm not gonna say like what we saw in the film study, but he's long and rangy, and he's got good jiu-jitsu, but he's acting like I have no jiu-jitsu. Like I'm a purple belt too, bro. Like I consistently submit guys who are in the UFC. So him saying that I have no jiu-jitsu, like I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But he's a dangerous fighter. He's long. He's got long legs, long arms. He's tall and he's tough and he's gritty. But I do see some quitting there, and I'm gonna fucking expose it, man. I'm telling you. When everyone sees my game plan in action, everyone's gonna be shocked. Watch. I'm telling you right now.
There you go. Lars mentions great matchup with a lot of backstory. You can't ask for anything more, and that's the truth. You know, we love at Cage Titans being able to give you guys the platform to kind of flesh out the stories. And you know, we're more than fighter A versus fighter B. Like, this is why you should be intrigued. This is why you should be looking forward to this matchup. And I mean, you guys check all the boxes for this matchup. I know that a lot of fans. This is another one. You know, you're on a card where you have a welterweight title on the line, the flyweight title on the line for the first time in over 10 years. We're going to crown a flyweight champion. The first time ever, we're going to crown an OG champion. We have Ozzy Martin returning for the, after a fight of the year performance like he put on, fighting for a welterweight title. But this is one of the fights that a lot of people ask me about. And, with all those titles on, all those golds up for grabs, this is one of the most talked about fights outside, that people ask me about, like, is that hype real? Does Aaron really hate this kid? I'm like, yeah, this fucking Aaron, there is no filter. There's no performance you're putting on. Aaron Hughes is Aaron Short Fuse Hughes. And, I tell people a lot, and I know there's a lot of people, just like Lars mentioned, that are looking forward to this fight. I'm just going to say that's two fights back-to-back featured fight of the night, right? I was featured fight of the night against Jerry Muse, ended up being the co-main event. Now I'm third fight from last. Hopefully no fights fall out this time, so I'm not co-main event again. But 2 fights in a row, featured fight of the night, one of the biggest rising stars at Cage Titans. And no disrespect to Cage Titans, but I'm trying to get to the UFC this year. So I'm going 5-0 this year, man, and I'm just going to keep putting on dominant performances, and I'm going to keep on bringing out all the theatrics and the post-fight speeches. I got a good one planned for this one, so you're not going to want. I definitely, you got me at the edge of my seat. And listen, we had Mitch on last week, and I tell you this with the most respect. There is no disrespect, towards us. We're here for a platform to get you to wherever your career wants to go. So there's never a disrespect. Listen, if this is your only stop, that's cool. If this is a stop on your journey to, other higher grounds, whether it's PFL, Bellator, UFC, we will push you along with not open arms. We'll push you along, at wherever you need to go. So there's no ever disrespect when you say things like that, because we're here to help you achieve whatever your goal may be, whether, it's the UFC, bigger platforms, or whatever. So we look forward to you putting the battle on. We not going to read Rob Pico's comments, but I will read.
Popped up screen. I saw it.
I will read Alyssa's comment. The game plan is to kiss him. That I do have to give shout outs to Alyssa. She's always throwing fun digs. In regards to the fight order, obviously I won't have you and Mitch back to back, so I'll probably space that fight out. But we all know the fight that people are looking forward to because you always bring it. You always bring the entertainment. And I think that you're, you can build as an inspiration for fighters because this is something you're a perfect example of a guy who takes the opportunity in front of him and grabs it with both hands and makes the most of it. I tell fighters all the time, the party wasn't the party before he came to Cage Titans. We just happened to give him the platform, and then he did what he did, and then that he became the party. You mentioned that, you have these things. It's like we want fighters who want to grab that moment and make it their own, and we're not going to handcuff you. Whether it's a funky swear, post fight, speech, whether it's a colorful walkout. Like, we want you to understand that you have opportunity in a window. Do the most of it, because you're right, man. You came to us and you ran on a 3-fight win streak, and you were one of the most talked about fighters in New England. And some people may argue whether it's warranted or not, but it doesn't matter. You took the opportunity and you made the most of it, and you made Aaron Hughes name that was in people's mouths. So that's a testament to you. So I thank you for showing other fighters that, the time and the opportunity you have, you got to make the most of it, because you definitely did. Yeah,
man. It's you guys just give us the opportunity and the stage, and I'm just gonna seize it by the balls, man. And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fuck up Jake Dixon balls. That's for sure.
There you go, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you for your time. I will have Jake on after this. So your closing thing, Jake's not here right now, but when he gets on later, I'm going to bring you up full screen right now. Pretend you're talking to Jake. What's your message to Jake?
I hope you're ready for 15 minutes of hell, because I'm ready for 15 minutes of hell. I'm willing to die in there. I hope you're ready to die in there. That's all I got to say.
All right. There you go. So thank you so much, Aaron. 10 days away. We look forward to seeing you next week. Aaron Hughes, Jake Hixenbaum 2. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Wait, before you go.
Yeah.
I messaged you about my medicals. I need you to get back to me before it's too late.
I'll check your medicals. Here's a bad example for you fighters, what Aaron just said. As a fighter, you have a couple obligations. Train for your fight. Make sure your medicals are up to date, and make sure you show up on weight. So, yes, I will get back to you if your medicals are up to date. But message to other fighters, don't do what Aaron does in that regard. You should know the dates of all your medicals yourself. You should have them in your emails or in a file so that you know when you have medicals.
Mike, clearly you don't know that. I'm probably like the most unorganized person in the history of ever.
Well, I gave you all the praise of how they should follow your lead on how to capture that moment, but don't follow Aaron's lead by not knowing when your medicals are expired.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And your girlfriend says, can you even last 15 minutes?
No.
There you go. All right, thank you, Aaron. Have a good night.